Good evening, everybody. Auronnj here with another War of the Visions PvP video, and today we are going to take a special look, not at Eileen, we're going to do that later. We're going to take a special look at one of the newer characters, Zombie Rairyuu, and do a little bit of a character review of him, and show him off in some really high-level arena matches, and I'm going to show you why I consider him a true hyper carry in this game right now, on the level of somebody like Super Stern. So to start, let's take a look at my arena team. Here it is. We're looking at Auronnj, Rairyuu, and our new guy, here he is, old Skull. We'll go with Skull. This is going to be a little bit of a showcase of him. You don't see a lot of this guy around, and he's very useful, especially in the context you're going to see him here. But this video is not about him. This video is mostly about our boy Zombie Rairyuu here. So as you look, you can see the stats that he's rocking. A couple of these stats really jump off the page. One, his magic is over 1,000 in this build, so you can tell he's going to hit like a truck. He does not have high tank stats. He has pretty good agility, and I'm running him with his TMR and the wolf hat. I actually think Zombie Rairyuu is one of the perfect candidates for a wolf hat, especially the aim type, and especially if you don't have a +5 accuracy ring to put on him. I'm also running him with Odin for the human killer and the slash attack up, and he's rocking Rairyuu here. This is a 99 Rairyuu. It's giving him a lot of magic and buffing the group's magic stat. So, sub job, running him Paladin. Let's take a look at what he has on and off. Sentinel, in this build, I have Sentinel off. Sentinel is a good skill for him. Divine Grace, also have that off. You want to use this if you want him to stay back, but I don't want him to stay back. I want him going forward. I want him attacking people. Really, Paladin is all about this. Immortal Spirit. This lets him survive fatal damage one time, and you combine that with his TMR, and he can survive fatal damage twice. Everything else in here, the only other thing I leave on is Saintly Healing. He actually recovers a ton of HP to himself if he can get that off. So that's what we're running on him. As far as his main job, what do I have on and off? Stone Blade on, Drain Evocation on, Stone Aga Blade on, Hazard Slash on, Soaring Blade off. His ideal combo, for him to do maximum damage, you want him Drain Evoking and following that up with a Hazard Slash or Stone Aga Blade on more than one person. So he has that AoE potential, and it will absolutely one-shot things if he Drain evokes first. So that's the ideal combo. Other than that, Sharp Mind, you're going to want to use this. This raises his accuracy and combos really well with an accuracy item, and it raises his spirit penetration, which makes him hit a lot harder. It's really great. I also run Magic up, just get that magic stat over 1,000 so it looks nice and sexy right there, makes me feel good about myself, etc. So let's jump into some videos. Alright, straight away you can see the first matchup is Rain, Ildira, and the bane of everyone's existence right now, Little Leela. Now, Little Leela, a lot of people think is a counter to Zombie Rairyuu, and she does do wind damage, which is his counter, and she has insane range, it's insane sustain, and a lot of people think she is the true prize from the Halloween event we just had. And she's really good. If you have her, you're going to be pleasantly excited. But let's watch how these battles unfold. So this person also has Rairyuu's TMR, you see that, but we're going to focus on Rairyuu. So here's the thing. He's going to cast Courage first turn every time if he has that available. Now, Skull is in this to give Quicken to Rairyuu, because you really want him to be able to cast both of his Return to Life abilities before he gets in the fight. So he casts Re-Raise on himself, now he's ready. A tip on this map, the current arena map, Auronnj in slot 1 is very, very good because she's just in range to do that almost every fight. And it's really useful to confuse the enemy tank or the enemy front line. Okay, anyway, you see Rairyuu taking a lot of damage, but you're just not worried about that with him. You want him getting as many turns as possible and just going in there and annihilating things. So there's his Drain evocation. He's healing up. Agri's going to come in over the top and finish off Ildira. Great. Rain's still being confused in the back line. Leela actually counterattacks him a little bit. Heals herself by accident. Now let's see what Rairyuu can do here. Big damage on the Hazard Slash. Here comes the Quicken. And guess what? Big damage on the Hazard Slash round 2. And that is the kind of damage potential he has. Now Leela's going to come back to life. Not a big deal. Agrius is going to be here to finish her off. And there we go. That's the first match. So right there you got to see the power of Rairyuu. Let's watch another one. Okay, in this match, we're going to get another proposed counter to him in the form of Lucia. Again, wind element, big range. Let's see how Rairyuu does into this team comp. The common thing you're going to see among both of these videos, and if you run something like this yourself, is that Rairyuu will start by double revive buffing himself every game if he can do it. He'll go Immortal Spirit, Skull's going to bring a Quicken to him, and then he's going to cast Revive on himself again. It is just such a good combo. Right here, enemy tank moves into the terrible spot to move in when you're playing against Agrius. She's going to walk up and do her limit break to him here in just a second. Rairyuu's got both his buffs up, and we're in business. Like, this fight is starting off a lot like the rest, but this is not a guarantee of a win. Just landing a Confuse on the enemy front line doesn't guarantee anything. These second Quickens are often kind of worthless. Like, I didn't do a very good job pairing the speeds to make those Quickens the most useful, but it doesn't matter. Like, I didn't want to spend a whole bunch of time on that. I just really wanted to show off the power of Rairyuu. So there he goes. He's died once, but he's come back to life. And here you go. Drain Evocation, kill. Here comes Quicken over the top. And what's he got this time? Hazard Slash. Oh, didn't finish her off, but that was a pretty good little 1-2 combination. Agrius again comes in over the top, finishes the job, and there we go. That's another win. Okay, so finally, what is the final score, final rating, final tier I would put Zombie Rairyuu on? Well, if I was going to rate him based on the 3 things I look for in a DPS, or especially a solo carry DPS, his damage, I think, is SS tier, the top. He has the ability to make his damage more by damaging someone else and buffing himself. He has the potential to hit AoE, and as you've seen, his damage is insanely strong, and it's really hard to mitigate. So I give him an SS in damage. Survivability, he gets an S for me. Takes a little bit of trickery to make him really survivable, but because he can come back to life twice, I think that makes him S tier. He also has access to those paladin buffs, so he can buff his defense and spirit, he can heal himself, and he's really one of the most survivable DPSs in the game, I think. So I'm going to give him an S there, not quite SS tier. Speed, he's fast, but he's not blazing fast. He's just fast enough to let your tank usually do what they need to do and get in position without having to manipulate his speed an awful lot, but he still does like to have those espers like Odin or something like that to speed him up. But his speed is solid, so I'm going to give him a solid A on speed. And then for a final score, I'm going to put him in an S tier. Not quite SS, not quite like he's breaking the game tier, but he is plenty good in a composition of a tank, a support, and just him as your DPS. He would get that SS tier if he didn't require a little bit of team comp manipulation and a little bit of planning to make him work right. He's not quite on that like Auronnj level of brain dead tier where you just throw Auronnj in any comp with basically any of his skills and he's like, yeah, look at me, I self buff and haste myself and just do a lot of damage. you actually have to make Rairyuu buff his revives, or he has a way of just dying too fast. So you do have to think about it a little bit. You can't just throw him into any comp and have him be good, like Leela, for example. But that doesn't hold him back very much. I still give him a solid S. I've been using him a lot lately in Guild Wars, in Arena, in manual PvP, and I've been loving him. So, if you happen to pull this guy and you happen to build him, don't be scared to throw him out there. Even with a wind attack map up, or with little Leelas running around doing their thing, his ability to come back from death and one-shot things makes him viable in any circumstance. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a like and subscribe. Stop by the Salt Squad Discord if you have any questions or want to chat with us. We're always looking for new guests, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I'll see you next time.